How many of you have seen these courtside at a professional or college or high school or any basketball game? How many of you have used these at any sporting event, whether it's basketball, baseball, football, you name it? How many of you have no clue what these are? Well, in this video, I'm going to show you how I connect these XREAL AR glasses to my Canon R3 and use it to shoot basketball. So let's check it out. Hey, this is Scott. Thanks for checking out this video. Yep, I'm going to use these XREAL 1S AR glasses to shoot a Big 12 football game tonight. And I'm going to figure out if these are going to work for sports photography or if they're just a gimmick that's something to try out and kind of fun and different. These are actually my son's glasses. He spent his hard-earned money on them. Nobody sent me this gear. Nobody's sponsoring this video. Nobody's telling me what to say or not to say. This is Scott's opinion here. So we're going to dive right into this and let you know what these are. But these are basically AR glasses. They're very simple. They've got a couple of buttons right here. But basically, once I power these on and connect them to the R3 body, in these lenses right in here, that lens right there and that one right there, those are basically like little computer screens. So I put these on, they kind of look like Ray-Bans, and in these screens I can see what I would normally see in the viewfinder here. Now, I'm not going to do a review on these. Like I said, I'm going to just talk about, do they work for sports photography and how? And it's specifically a basketball game. What do I need to make this happen? First of all, I have a power cable. And I plug the power cable into the glasses. From there, I have this connection device right here. There's an output, there's an HDIM, and there's a power slot right there. So I'm plugging the output of this device. I have a 3-foot HDMI cable, regular HDMI on this end, the smaller connector that will go into my R3 body on the other end. So I'm going to plug that in right here. Again, and I'll put links to all these items in the description. So if you want to pick these up, you can. Again, unsponsored. I'm not getting anything if you buy this stuff, so it doesn't matter to me. But this is what it's going to take to do this. Now, on the R3 bodies, right there, you can see the HDMI port. Familiar with these bodies, or most bodies have an HDMI port. It shouldn't be anything new to you. But I plug that into the HDMI port. Now the key is having power. And what I've done is purchased an external power pack that has a built-in cable, actually, which is kind of nice. I put a lanyard on this so it can hang around my neck during a game. I'm going to connect this power pack to this connection unit right here. And once I power, the camera is on. I'm looking in the glasses right now, and I can see exactly what I'm seeing in the viewfinder. This is why I'm not sure this is very practical. Because most of us don't want all this stuff hanging all over us when we're at a game. I mean, this is a bunch of cables. I can move my credential, but frankly, it's not in the way. But most of us don't want all this stuff hanging here. But I'm going to use this, and I will set the camera in my lap. It's basically like flipping the viewfinder out and using that. But I'm going to shoot at least half of a game tonight and see how this works. And when the game's over, we'll come back and I'll let you know what I think of it. So stay tuned. Well, that's a wrap with my second game using the XREAL AR glasses. What are my thoughts? I'm gonna say it's kind of cool, but it's not the most practical thing for basketball, or at least a sport like basketball where the action is moving really fast and at times really close to you. The issue that I had, hold on a second, let me get back to normal. The issue that I had was having the camera down in my lap, which is a great angle, and I love shooting from that angle. I wish I could do it the whole game. But that HDMI cable comes out and it's not the most pliable cable. And so it sticks out about that far, and it's kind of tricky to get my hand out here away from the cable, but zoom. I used it with the 70 to 200 most of the time. And so zooming was a little tricky and felt awkward. Plus, just having that camera so low, trying to use back button focus there were times where I was turning the camera enough that I had to keep from hitting these other buttons. So maybe, I might try it again, button focus, and try the main shutter button as focus and the shutter. It was just kind of awkward, especially when the action was right in front of me on my side of the court. I had to turn this camera a long way to really follow the action right in front of me and all the way over. Now down on the other end, it wasn't so bad. The movements weren't as big, but it was just a little awkward, and I'm not against shooting in a different way or trying something different. I'm just not sure these glasses are very practical, and I'll be surprised if we see a lot of them being used for sports photography. There are wireless HDMI adapters that I could get, but I think the issue is still gonna be, you've gotta plug this thing in, so you're gonna have at least an inch or so of cable coming out. It would help if it was not as much cable sticking out here, and I'm not sure I wanna put the money into a wireless HDMI adapter, and I've heard that with those there's some lag. That brings up another point. I've never used an external monitor with the R3 bodies. So if you have, let me know, is there any noticeable lag in the autofocus? Because it did seem like it didn't quite want to snap focus as quickly. I don't know why an HDMI out would affect autofocus. Maybe it's just a lag thing that was going from the camera through the HDMI to the glasses. I was a little surprised that it didn't seem to autofocus quite as fast. Now, it wasn't unusable by any means, but it just didn't quite seem like it locked on like it normally did. The other issue that I could not resolve was when I wanted to chimp images through the glasses, it didn't work. I have this front button here set up to chimp. So if there's a timeout or a break in the action, I can just push this button, look to the viewfinder, and I'm actually looking at images right now, scroll through. I have the second button down here set to tag images or protect them. And basically, if I tried to preview images through the glasses, the screen went blank and nothing would help except turning the camera off, unplugging the HDMI cable, and basically starting everything up again. Plugging the cable back in, turning the camera on, and it worked fine then. I will say, I have tried this with my son's 7D Mark II body, and chimping with that body did work. So I had checked everything out with my gear before I used it, and everything worked except I didn't try chimping and previewing images. So I don't know what that issue is as well. If you've used these glasses and that's worked or hasn't worked for you, let me know in the comments what you've done to fix that issue, or if it's just kind of a glitch in how this all worked. I'm not sure the XREAL or any type of AR glasses are going to be that practical for sports photography. I had some friends here in the Coliseum at the game that sent me pictures, and they said they were all cracking up laughing because I looked like a blind person shooting basketball on the baseline, which they're probably right. But anyway, I don't think we're going to see sports photographers using these glasses a lot anytime soon, but I could be wrong. Who knows? Hey, that'll wrap up this video. I hope you found it helpful. If you're using AR glasses for sports photography, let me know in the comments and let me know how that's worked for you. I'd love to hear other perspectives. And thanks for watching. Give it a big thumbs up. Subscribe, please. I appreciate everybody who subscribes and follows the channel. And we'll see you in the next video. Happy shooting.